Are you doing okay today?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Okay.
And I'll be looking at asses and shit, and I seen little yoga pants coming out the nail salon. So I peeped the ass out, and I was like, damn, she thick as fuck. Turn around, TT. I was like, damn, nigga, what you doing out here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, hella ass. The sun is still out, my nigga, and it was just, I mean, that's the whole.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, did it work for those people?
No, it never does. I mean, these people somehow delude themselves into thinking it might, but... but it might work for us.
Butts.
What up? What up? Jeez, what up? It is Tuesday once again, and we are back for another FOC and chill. What up to all the homies, the Heroes Con chat that we have going, kind of coordinating the meetup in Charlotte here in June has been cracking me up. Apparently, we formed gangs based on the hotel that you're staying in, so it's both weird and funny, but they got me cracking up, man. Got me excited to get out here to Heroes Con. I cannot wait, really, for June. My birthday's in June, so this is a bit of a birthday trip for me, and I'm real excited to get out there. And I will definitely be spending a good amount of time hanging. Geez, what is wrong with me? Hanging around and bothering the Comics Curing Cancer crew at their booth. Very much looking forward to hanging out, and I'm representing tonight. So what's up. Shout out to Hannah Waddingham. I love her so much. I'm so infatuated with her. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Pause for a little drink there before we get to the chat, but before I do that, let me get the link in the chat here. We'll see if we're gonna talk FOC this week, or if we're gonna chill and talk about some other random God knows what. I think AI chat might be banned for a couple of weeks at least. We definitely don't want to get Comic Journey going. You know that dude. Once you get going. What up to my homie Lost Cruz? It's good to see you, my man. Thank you for hanging out, coming through. Always supporting the channel. I appreciate you, my man. We got C Bizzle in the hizzle. What's up, man? Shout out to the Detroit Lions. Good to see you. Travis here for the controversy. I'm also here for the controversy. There's not been a lot of comic book controversy as of late. I will say, though, I was watching. So recently, when I get bored and there's nobody live, I will search term comic books and then filter it to just live shows. And during the process of doing this, I found this Ripaverse dude, Eric July, which I guess is a big deal. But I found him and started listening to him. Talks about a lot of stuff I don't care about. But I also found this other channel that hates Eric July. And I got to say, I hated them more. They were such mean. I hated them. I had to unsubscribe from that lady because they were just mean-spirited people, and I didn't enjoy them. But it's been interesting checking out the other live shows. These channels were huge channel. The one that one chick that I had to unsubscribe because she was just they were just haters, man. But she had over 2,000 subs, and it's fun. It's just funny, there's all these little pockets of us around here, and I'm curious. When I was in high school, it was this way. In high school, things were very cliquey. Everybody had their crew, and I think comic book collecting online, we all have our crews too. And I'm trying to be the same person I was in high school, which is I want to hang out with the jocks. I want to hang out with the theater geeks. I want to hang out with the Warhammer geeks. I want to hang out with, I want to hang out with everybody. Everybody's doing stuff cool. It's interesting, can teach me stuff. I'm trying to hang out and see what's up, see what y'all are doing, man. So I'm much more of a hybrid. I can, I will pick a fight, but I can get along with pretty well with all kinds of different people. And I don't really get bothered by things I feel like a lot of others get bothered by. But point being, it was just interesting. I ran into kind of warring tribes because the left channel was talking a lot about Eric July, and I just it's interesting out here. It's funny. I don't know if anybody knows who Eric July is. I found his channel, so I started looking up who he was, and I guess I'd heard of his comic book from the Rippaverse. I guess it's part of the culture war, so I guess that's why I didn't know anything about it. We got Beckerman here for the comic books. Keep the chill. We'll see about that. We'll see how it goes. We got Lady Fantastic in the house. Good to see you, Carolina. Appreciate you joining me. Butts. That's right. Trev, the shipping guru. Hala Chiefs. Inada Mas. Absolutely. Thank you, C Bizzle. The real comic book community. I prefer the REEL, real, because I like to make funny wheels. Although I've been kind of a drought. I haven't been able to come up with anything funny, but also there hasn't been any drama for me to make fun of. So I do need some drama. What up, Frog Brawler? Thanks for coming through on this beautiful Tuesday night. It's storming here in the Kansas City area. I had rumors of golf ball size hail coming my way. I don't think it ever actually came, but I guess it was over there in Lawrence, Kansas, which is about 15, 20 minutes west. So it's storming here in Kansas. Burke. No, it's definitely not an AI chat. But Burke, I guess, not his house, but Burke Family 54, a bunch of houses got destroyed by a tornado tonight out in his area, not far from where he lives. So, living in Kansas, you don't really think about a tornado, but man, it could go wrong. It feels like the odds are in your favor on those tornadoes because I've been through so many. But when it's your time, man, it sucks, man. Some people enjoyed the AI chat, others didn't. I enjoyed the AI chat. I thought it was interesting, but it's also been done. So people who are annoyed by it are probably annoyed because they've heard it 1,000 other places. So I get that, man. But I had fun. I agree. I definitely agree. Found it right. What's up, Durs? Good to see you, my man. He's part of these hotel wars we got going on, man. It's wild out here in these streets. Mark's biggest video was on. Oh, really? I should go check it out then. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to get views. And honestly, part of me was looking for angles for how I could get in the mix. You know what? I could make fun of those mean people. Ooh, do I want that smoke? Would they even notice me? That's a thought, because I really didn't like those people. They were hating on Eric July and some other dude who I had never heard of, but I guess he's part of the whole thing too. But they were making fun of this Ryan Cannell dude. And I have no idea who this dude is either, but I guess he's a fighter of the culture war from the right. And so they were spending a lot of time making fun of this dude, but they were making fun of this dude. They were making fun of the people in the crowd, calling him fat and shit. And I'm like, y'all are some haters, man. I feel like part of the problem with the culture war is if you've chosen a side, you hate the other side so much that a lot is justified. Like, you're justified to go balls to the wall against the other side, right? Like, there's no civility, there's no decency, as Colin Joe said at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, especially after he gave that speech about decency. Just plain decency. We don't have decency in this country. We don't know how to talk to each other when we disagree. And you see it in this comic book, I've said it before, but like, there's a lot of folks I feel like in this comic book game who are like, oh, your favorite color's not green. All right, well, fuck you. Then we can't be friends. It's like, We don't have to agree about everything, guys. But anyway, I was thinking, man, do I want, now that it occurred to me, do I want that smoke? Because I really hated these people, but I would have to watch more of them to get more material. But I really hated them. See, there's the Rippaverse dude. I can't remember their channel name here. I feel like I went too far. What was her name? And I could show you guys what I'm talking about, actually. Here's one of the dudes, BTM reviews. I did not like him at all. Here it is. Katie did. So I was sub to her because they were live and they were talking comics. And
that's what I'm saying. You fucking idiot. That's what we're saying.
Is this the right video?
Why are you mad that she's attractive? I'm not mad.
What's up, Carrie? You here? Oh, I guess I forgot to pay attention to the chat. I got distracted by this. I'm trying to find this video of these people that I hated. How are you doing this night?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Do you know these people at all?
Do I know Rippa? Okay, so like the whole reason I joined was because I have no idea what you're talking about, and I wanted to be like, hey, if I just join,
do you know
Rippaverse? No, just join your video. I can find out what they are.
Not the video. I'm trying to find this video where I was like, I hate you guys. I hate these people. I don't see it though.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Did they delete it or something? Or maybe this is it right here.
Maybe they were really hateful and we're gonna get rid of this.
They were complete douchebags. I was like, I can't believe that y'all are this douchey. Oh, is this it right here? Oh, I think this is it right here, actually.
Her birth year.
Yeah, I hate all of these people.
Why?
I hated all of them.
You're on the wrong.
So they're making fun of this dude, which I guess is that comics. I don't know. He's part of whatever. Which I probably don't like that dude either, honestly. But I definitely didn't like these people. They were just calling everybody in the crowd fat, and I'm like, this chick right here, she ain't fat. She look kind of good, actually. What you calling her? And like this dude's just going in on and just being.
Sometimes people would be like, if you have any kind of junk in your trunk, you're fat.
Well,
so it looks like she's got a little junk.
She look good to me. I like it. That ain't fat to me. But I mean, it definitely ain't. Oh my god,
PHAT or FAT.
I mean, either one works for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with either one. That ain't no thing to me. But I wonder. I mean, nobody gives a fuck about these people, so I could make fun of them and no one would care. But I should. I was thinking maybe I should make a clip of why I hated these people and just be like.
So who are they?
I don't know. Like you probably missed the beginning, and I should probably get back to the chat here too. But I lately, whenever there's nothing going on YouTube, none of the homies are live. I search comic books and I filter it to live, and I just look for other channels who have comic books as their title, and they're live. So I found this Eric Rippaverse dude or July guy, and I was just watching him one day, and he didn't piss me off. He was just boring as hell to me. But these people pissed me off. Like, so that's what it brought it up. I was just talking about comic book shit, and then I started thinking, I need some drama. Maybe I could start some drama with these people.
I mean,
because I really did.
I mean, if they're really hateful people, I mean, but
I don't know. Maybe this is a bad day for them. I don't know if this is what they're usually doing. I don't know.
I think that if somebody so the Rippaverse, are they ripping on people or like what is this?
No, that you don't. So I'm surprised that you don't know who Eric July.
I really don't know.
That's part of the hardcore culture war, and you dabble in the culture war from time to time.
I do, but I got to be honest with you. Like lately, like even before the Ed Piscar stuff and everything like that, like it was starting to get to be like a little much for me, like mental health wise, like. Because
not worthwhile. I don't find it to be worthwhile.
It's a little rough sometimes if you're always fighting, if you're always trying to be a warrior, you know, like sometimes people, even people in the military, get leave, you know. So
I
what
think it just
why
makes, and I'm not saying it for you, but I think when you live that life online and you're constantly going to battle, it just makes you mean. I mean, like
Mhm.
I've had some stuff get a lot of engagement recently on Instagram, and it's like some of the people that just come through and comment, it's like, why did you take time out of your day to be this piece of shitty? Like, why? I've been
Sometimes
thinking a
it just
lot about
looks
that.
so insane, like, and it's like, like there's been people that have been mentioned before, like I've seen it, and you know, I think people that have been mentioned on here, like where they're sitting there and they're criticizing some of the big names in like the comic book YouTube community, you know, and like it was Biggie Shack that came on and was like, "Hey guys, just to let you know this happened," you know, but I don't understand how people. I think maybe they've gotten the notoriety that they've looked for by doing this. You know, like it's like the little kid that acts out because he's finally getting the attention he wants.
Hey, what's up, Lisa? Good to see you. Well, I mean, I saw someone say he turned it into a multi-million. His comic book is a multi-million-dollar book. So I mean, whatever he's doing, it's working. Man. That's a lot of
So
money.
so this person is a comic book writer, and they've put out a comic book and it's divisive and people either like it or they
All
don't.
right, man. Somebody who knows who the hell Eric July is, so you guys can give us the cliff notes. Because I honestly, I've just found him, like I said, searching comic books and being like,
I mean,
who's streaming about comics.
is this a guy that's kind of like EVS?
I don't know who EVS. Ah, here's our man. I'm sure. I am 1,000% sure that Legion can tell us who Eric July is.
Independent comic creator who started the Rippaverse with his ISOM book.
I
Recruited
saw him.
Chuck
That's the
Dixon.
book.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that book.
yeah. He's part of the counterculture war. Like, but you got to give him credit where credit's due. He's not happy with the industry, so he went out and did his own thing for his own fans. So that part, yeah, if you like it, you like it. I've read his book. I caught wind of it with it actually made it to the news rounds. The guy is what's it called when you go on news talk shows but you don't work? Contributor. He's a contributor for Blaze TV. So naturally, his self-funded project made the rounds. You know what I mean? Like hitting news and papers and
It's
stuff.
a
So,
racket, dude. It's a
well, in
racket.
all sincerity and aggressively relaxing, pointed out beautifully. Like, I don't think Glenn Beck has put out a book that hasn't hit like number one because the company's buying X amount of stuff to get it there. You know, that's part of marketing. So his book had this massive marketing thing, and he didn't. It wasn't crowdfunded, but it was order to demand kind of thing. Like the book didn't come out till he ran a funded campaign, and it made like I think over $3 million, and that's how it caught my attention. Is because it was a crowdfunded thing that made multiple millions of dollars, and it started hitting generic, non-counter cancel culture, counterculture websites. It was actual news. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm about to order one of these and review this book. If it's that much hype on it, I don't know who this Eric July is at the time or nothing. So I ordered the book blind, reviewed it, and dude, I still to this day get comments from his freaking shill army. It's crazy.
Or did
But
you piss them
So
off, or were
so
you on their team?
so
no,
in a nutshell, what do you think of it?
I was honest about the book. I thought it was definitely somebody's first comic book. It wasn't great.
Which
It wasn't.
you give
It
them
wasn't
leeway
bad.
for that, right? I mean, it's your
No,
first book.
I broke down what I thought X, Y, and Z, but everybody who read it, like, because I went and after the fact looked up some reviews because I kind of got lucky and I was one of the first people to get a video out, you know. So the video did great, and then you go and look at other people's reviews, like the art is fantastic, the book is amazing, and it's not bad, but it's not that. It couldn't compete on a shelf in the direct market. It just couldn't. unless you have a built-in fan base, and there's room for it to improve. And I hope it does. He's a independent comic creator. In that aspect, I hope he succeeds.
More comics, right?
Exactly.
We can serve multiple audiences. And if there's a right-wing audience that wants some comic books, I'm okay with it.
This is where it got funny. Like, it was like the book was 90 pages. It was like $30. It was ungodly expensive, and it doesn't justify it. Like, if you had Jeff Johns writing it and you had Jason Fabok doing interiors, that book still shouldn't be $30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a price disparity there. So when issue 2 came out,
it's not about price. It was about a cause, right? That changes.
I
right?
guess
It was a
so.
cause.
I guess so, but he's not like servicing his fans. Like that's not grifting. Like, people are agreeing to buy it up front, but you knew that you had this momentum. There's no reason to charge that. But to his credit, I think he's like bought like a warehouse since then. He's got a very professional website, and like he's not running like some kind of ragtag operation. So
he's acquired different aspects.
Yeah, he's hired
to
people
make things easier on him.
Went and recruited and hired Chuck Dixon, who's a legit pro, to come in and help him build out his universe, writing this spinoff series called Alpha Core. And but this is where it kind of got weird. So the second issue dropped, and I'm like, this is just not good. Like, we're now 180 pages in. I don't know who this character is, where he gets his powers from, what's his motive. You don't know nothing. It's just like they're just throwing stuff in there. It became bad to me. I'm a very critical person about stuff. And the first one, I'm like, okay, there's room for whatever. But the second issue, I'm like, it's going nowhere. It's getting convoluted, and the art's kind of just bland. Come to find out, the random no-name artist he hired was using free drop something images that you just download, copy and paste. And somebody even on Twitter X went through and found, like, spent hours scouring the free image stuff programs, and they weren't even new. They were like from 15 years ago. It was old free software, and he was pulling out all of the houses, all the furniture that's in all the scenes, the cars, and just sharing them side by side and stuff. And even in a few pages, he redid them and colored them better, like made them look actually professional and blended them in. And I'm like, yo, we paid for this.
Respect the hustle, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I respect the hustle.
If they're gonna do something like this, you have to, like, especially if you're going to charge someone $30 for a comic. Like, look, I understand that not everything is going to be my cup of tea, right wing, left wing, whatever. Okay.
Well, the book isn't political. I'll let you know that now. Like, EVS's books are like, he'll tell you like they're political, like Cyberfrog, like the villains, the alien villains are meant to be like how he perceives the left. Like, he said that in interviews and stuff when he goes around over the years. But the Ripperverse stuff isn't political. It's apolitical stuff. And that's, I gave him credit for that. Like, if someone picked this up and you didn't know it from left or right, you'd be like, yeah, it's just a mid comic book.
So because he has separate political views outside of what he's doing with comics.
He's a super libertarian, super taxation is theft libertarian.
Like classic libertarian, or like the new libertarian.
I don't have any idea. I don't watch the guy. I don't follow the guy. Like, I just did my research after the fact, but taxation is theft is a phrase that I've heard him say a couple of times in the few hours I looked into all this. And also,
it definitely sounds like a libertarian. Yes.
No, he is. But then he like baptizes people, and it's weird. Like, he didn't eat the cost of taxes for us. We all paid taxes for this book.
Yeah, a lot of people saying they checked out Eric and he wasn't for them. I can tell you, I was interested watching. He sounds like he's saying interesting stuff, but every subject he had, I was just like, I don't care about any. Talk about something I care about.
All six, one half dozen the other. He just doesn't like when you see left leaning political ideals bleed into entertainment and media. He doesn't like it, and that's his shtick, is to point it out and call it out. And it's there, and it's not as often you see the opposite with right wing stuff. It's just not. That's just not how people who are running businesses and companies are typically leaning left these days. So that's more in comics and stuff. But I mean, everyone's going to have different strokes for different folks. They'll have different levels of what kind of catches them. For me, anything that takes me out of a story, whether it be political or bad art, bad layouts, whatever it is, like it's the same to me. Like, you failed your story. You didn't fail me. You failed your story.
Yeah, but Mark, also you're not going to be one of those people that was just like, this looks like the person that wrote it is liberal, so now I hate it. As long as it's a good story, you're cool.
Don't get me. Yeah, that's true. Don't get me wrong. If I couldn't point out half of these artists, but if I see somebody who's like super skinny with blue hair and 5 nose rings, I guarantee you their comics suck ass. Like,
wow, we're judging books by the cover.
Like you can look at me and like assume certain things about me correctly, and that doesn't offend me. You certainly can, but I am more open-minded than most nut jobs out there. I don't play the culture war. I'd call out bullshit on both sides. It's fun. It's fun.
I mean, Frog, you got to start somewhere, and if you can get like, here's the thing about, and this is my perception of what he did, but like I've thought a lot about like if I could just enter the culture war on the right side and just be hardcore, I could make so much money, guys. I promise you I could. I would make so much money. But I can't.
Twitter if it's too overpopulated even now, because I think so many people have monetized this rage. This stuff.
No, I think I still definitely when I first started thinking this, probably 10 years ago, would have been easier. But I definitely think I could still do it. Absolutely.
I believe in you.
But I can't. But I can't do it.
and talking about the comment we have here, anyone with an idea has the capability of going out and writing fiction. Everybody has to have their first time for everything. You know, people like Brandon Sanderson had to have their first novel that they had not published, their first short story, you know, to get to the point where they're becoming who they are.
What up, Bleak? What up, Papa? What up? What up, CJ? Papa, good to see you, my man. Lisa, it seems like,
but I think there's a weird barrier for entry in the prose division, and I don't think it's. I mean, there's obviously still a talent barrier, but I think the talent barrier looks different these days. And you get like, yeah, you said a lot of people's first time. Like, it just makes, as a DC reader, I'm more familiar there. Like, go back 3 years. Was it to Future State, where DC was financially in a weird place? They cleared house, reduced the number of staff. They promoted Jim Lee against his will to president. He's like, I guess I'll have to do it now. And then they brought in an entire team of next-gen writers to write for a professional company considered the big two. But we got Philip Kennedy Johnson out of it. We got Rom V out of it. Who's doing Alan Scott Green Lantern right now? Tim Sheridan. We're getting Tim Sheridan out of it. And like, that's a great example of like, that's one writer that everybody likes everything he touches with Philip Kennedy Johnson. That's another writer who's fantastic, but he's different strokes for different folks with Ron V. And that's a writer that is super woke by any metric you can measure with Tim Sheridan, but he's freaking phenomenal. So you're like, do it. Give this guy that material. If you have a story with a gay character, let him do it because he's honoring the character and it's not the story, you know? He's like that's what we got from them. But there's also some bad ones in there too that just can't carry a story. I'd sing better in the shower than they write a comic sometimes.
Listen, do not get me started on Harley Quinn right now.
That's a perfect example. I can't even read it.
It's god awful.
I tried. It couldn't
my heart.
Why?
It's Riley Rosema is just the wrong artist for Harley. Like it's too.
Well, the thing is the Harley Quinn run that's going on right now is not Riley Rossmo. Riley Rossmo was in the previous run with Stephanie Phillips. Now, I like the Stephanie Phillips run, but right now we have Teenie Howard writing it, and she is
worse. Teenie was terrible on X-Men too.
It's just, it's character. I've made the statement to people personally that it's character assassination. What's happening with Harley right now?
Yeah, Thank you.
The best thing with Harley Quinn right now is like the covers and stuff.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And even then, you're seeing that DC has is caring a little bit less about Harley Quinn. Do you know how I can tell? Because I have a specific reason. I'm looking to see if I have it sitting here right now. But like. So like when you go and you're looking at things like, is she here? Yes, she is. This one right here. This is the most recent issue. Like if you don't want to count.
Isn't that a special as well?
No,
No, that's a regular issue from today.
this is her ongoing.
The
run.
annual just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, I won't be
It was
getting
a-
that.
It was a spring break.
I didn't
something.
either.
So when you're looking at like secondary stories and the way that they're presented on the covers of DC, right? So like, where
Like
the
a
heck is
backup?
another one. It's all like highlighted, like, and now Queen and Marilyn,
Oh,
you know,
fuck, that's so good.
Yeah, the
it
backup
looks
or whatever.
like it's all fancy and shit, right?
It's a nice cover.
This is how it appears on Harley this past issue.
Oh, way down there.
Way
What are
down
we
there
looking
in the
at?
same
Happy
type
New Moon?
displaying the authors' names.
Oh, that wasn't the author's credits at the bottom?
No, it could be like publication information. It almost looks like.
It's,
What?
it, it
That's
says
what I
blast,
thought it was. I assumed it was. I thought we were looking at the Happy New Moon banner.
it says
Oh my God.
blast off into the 68th and a half century with Erica Henderson's epic space odyssey. That's the secondary story.
Let her drop the ball on that one.
They're not even trying to sell it. Normally, the backup stories have a little pizzazz thing up there,
Yeah,
like Superman
like-
or Green Lantern or something.
Like with the Green Arrow, where we have like the Queen and Merlin face to face thing.
Yeah. Well, even the backup story stuff is more pizzazzy than that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Gore Vidal and the Great Legend with high praise for the Great Legend. So dope to have both of you here, man. Thanks for coming through.
So like what's happening in the Harley Quinn book right now is it seems
How the
to be
typical backup story stuff looks. They want you to know
Yeah.
it's there.
yeah.
Like it has art to it. It has recognizable stuff for the characters involved.
Yeah, so Harley's been sucking lately, and a longtime reader of Harley Quinn will not be buying the next one.
Well, with those
Biggie,
backups, you know, like a lot of new series come out of the backups, and like the Sinister Sons, wasn't that like in Green Lantern or something like that?
The main
Yeah,
lead.
so like, you know, if you have a good backup, you can get a good ongoing series out of it.
But the backups have just been for Harley Quinn have just been random like one shot type things. Like it hasn't had like it's one of those situations where they're telling you there's a connection, but there's really not.
They're not sending it. They need to send it.
Everyone demand that CJ say hello to them.
Happy birthday, CJ.
Happy birthday, CJ. I know
Yeah,
it's not
it
his birthday.
Happy birthday to CJ and Papa
CJ,
Willie. Papa
73.
Willie speaks the truth. 73. Wow, CJ, that's impressive. But
Yeah, we didn't
Papa,
think we'd make it that long.
Papa Willie speaks the truth, though. There are a lot of people, and I think someone said it before, no consequences, right? You can say whatever you want online with no consequences, with no fear of getting punched in the face or any kind of, blowback. And so a lot of people get off on that. I know Flo mentioned earlier that I guess it's a thing on TikTok talking about how crazy Instagram comments are, which how is it not crazy on TikTok too? How is TikTok better? I don't get
TikTok's
that.
heavily moderated.
Yeah. I
TikTok's
guess so.
a communist platform.
I'm not cool enough for TikTok yet.
You know, when most of the time when people say that, it's hyperbole, but no, in literal fact,
Literal fact.
that's what it is. That's funny. Like you can't even say stuff like that because it's hard. People use that stuff all the time. Where it's like when you hear it, you don't take it seriously because it's said all the time. But like, no, this time it's really, it's really true, guys. And shout out to my homie Doreen, still my hero, who helped me out with getting an exclusive, a Mike Mayhew exclusive.
Nice.
So
Which one?
Thank you to my homie Doreen. It was a Miles Morales one. It was a couple years ago now, Doreen. Jeez, time's flying by. But shout out to him. We didn't know each other at all. She was like, "Yeah, I'll grab this for you," and just facilitated the whole thing. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan of Batmite. And she's got an incredible DC collection. Batmite, yeah, Doreen.
Oh, that's
Batmite.
the name. Okay.
Yeah, she's got an incredible DC collection. Incredible. It's like out of
You
this
have my
world
respect.
crazy. It's crazy, Mark. She has legitimate as it can possibly be. So shout out to the homie.
I'm
Good
listening.
to see you. We got Stu.
Doreen Batmite might be cooler than actual Batmite.
Yeah, I
That doesn't
haven't.
take a lot though. Come on.
I haven't.
Yeah, well, bar's pretty low, but
Do people hate the mites? Because I read it in what I forget what Nightwing's mite is,
Shazam?
but I
with
with
Night
Justin.
Night Mite. Yeah, I thought it was
that's lazy and derivative.
I thought it was super stupid. Yeah, I was like, I hate this. I don't like this at all.
What you
Don't
need to
even
read is
mention
the
Nightwing
current.
to me right now.
Well, the current
Because
World's Finest has a small ninth dimensional imp story going on.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking of.
And it's absolutely actually good because it's like the end of their entire dimension happening, and it's pretty much a slap in the face to them because of how serious their situation is and how they can't be serious, and the serious dawning on them was the last issue, and it was pretty heartfelt seeing that. It was pretty good.
And shout out to Stu, Dr. Doom's Fans Club. I will be on with Fable this Friday night at 8 o'clock, competing with DJ Links in the mix. But watch either one. But I'll be with Fable tonight, hanging out with them, or not tonight, but Friday night, hanging out with them. So looking forward to that. Shout out to Stu. Thanks for coming through.
how is everybody feeling about Nightwing lately?
I'm a couple of issues behind, but I know Mark doesn't like it, but at first I didn't like it, but I've come to love it. And I love what's their name? Barbara and Dick. I love them together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my hopeless romantic just fires off watching their relationship.
That last issue was good for you then, Marcus. Like it was totally like Barbara and Dick and like old school going back. Pretty good.
I'm like a schoolgirl with that shit. Like, why am I enjoying this so much? But yeah, I do, man. I love them. I love her red hair. I love the way Bruno draws her. But yeah, I'm enjoying Nightwing. It's been a little all over the place, and like going back to Rick Grayson and all that. It's like, what is, but I've enjoyed it. I could get people.
I just picked up the annual today. I can't wait to read that.
Yeah, I'm an annual behind, and I think I'm a couple of issues behind in the regular run. So I got to catch up.
So like I just feel like we've got like for me personally, this series had like started like with Tom Taylor started so strong. And now it's like he's nearing the end of his run and he's throwing in a bunch of these Hail Marys. So like, how do we tie this up? And it's like there's literally stuff coming out of nowhere to me. Like the whole I'm afraid to leap through the air thing.
Yeah, I'm still in the middle of that, and I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, we're still in the middle of it. Even when you catch up, we're still in the middle of it.
This dude's been leaping from buildings for how long? I mean, come on.
And now all of a sudden here's what they're going to do. And based on what I've seen in like synopsises, coming up, the end of Tom Taylor's run is somehow, even though there's been no indication or no support for it whatsoever in the storyline, going to tie his fear of heights to Heartless.
I mean, I'm sure he's got something planned. I mean, I think you're further than I am, but surely he has a plan, right?
Didn't they reveal that nobody gives a shit?
Shut up.
I think the thing is they've gotten it like it's funny, but it's also like not funny because it's like hyperbole, but it's funny because like they've made it so that people don't care.
Yeah, they wasted him. He sat on it too long. It's the pacing of the book, really.
I care.
Well, no, I'm saying like he outpaid. Well, individuals caring is always going to exist. I'm saying the hype.
I know. I hate it when people do what I just did, by the way. So I'm sorry because I hate it when people do that.
I don't want to diminish your opinion. You and I both know it really doesn't matter, but I'm supposed to say that.
I jumped on this late. Like I got on the pirate story, so like I have like I have like not a long relationship with Nightwing, even though I like him nostalgically, but I'm kind of new back in, so it's like I don't know, I'm just gonna jump on here, and it's been okay, I guess.
There's two things that I love about this run. Number one, Barbara and Dick. I love their relationship. I think she's hot as hell, and I'm digging it. And the other thing that I love is him and Flash and him and the Titans and their friendship and how they fucking ride for each other. That shit makes my heart swell. I really enjoy that part of the book as well. Those are the two main things I enjoy.
Those are two good things. I have to agree about that as well. That the Titans have this kind of relationship with each other that is lacking as of late between the members of the Justice League, even before they disbanded.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. You know what's funny is one of those channels, you know, those rage bait channels. There's one that just gets my goat. I can't help it because he lies.
Oh,
to
who
his
is
audience.
it? Who is
He lies
it? I'm
to his
writing this
audience,
down.
right?
I want to know who it is. Who is it?
He when the death of the Justice League was happening, he did a rant video of this ain't gonna stick. This is just blah 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 da 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 da. So then I put out that absolute power video, right? Talking about that, kind of catching people up on what's going to happen. So I thought, like, I wonder, I'm sure other people did this. Let me look around. And I saw that jackass did one.
What? That are you not going to say who it is? Is it a secret?
No. And in his video, right, he brings up, like, we're supposed to be possibly getting the return of the Justice League through this, which they've been dead for years now. They've kept him gone, blah, blah, blah. Like talking about it like his blase when he was like lying to his audience 2 years ago. So I went back because I remember, I don't forget. I went back and I clipped his dumbass saying it. Then I went and clipped the new video and I put it together and I sent it to Sector to show him because Sector knows that I just troll this dude from time to time when I remember him. Like he shit reviews on Wonder Woman, but the things that he doesn't like about the Wonder Woman book don't happen in the Wonder Woman book. But his audience doesn't know that. So, like, because they're not reading it from his recommendation pretty much, which that's what bums me out is there's fantastic stories happening that tons of people aren't reading because they're in this certain group of content creators that just shit post for views.
Yeah, if you're not reading it,
something bad out of it.
It works, man.
As a reader of the Tom King Wonder Woman,
it's so fucking good.
This is not only just good; it's important.
It's way up there.
It's not only just good;
really
it's
good.
important. It's going to be something. I don't think it's going to reach the platitudes that he set for himself, but I think it's going to be very important, and it's very important.
Because I literally listened to someone say, I'm not reading this no more because Tom King made fun of Christians in this last issue. As somebody who, I'm not a fan of people making fun of religions and comic books because it's really not a place for it. But what he did was the villain was using just Bible verses to try to justify his actions. Like, that's classic villain stuff. For as long as like stories have been told that you've always had like the bad preacher or like this or that, like that's not Tom King. That's him making an evil villain.
And picking and choosing and using scripture to fit your purposes.
Yeah, like that's classic villainy.
Yeah.
In like Dungeons and Dragons term, it's like a knight, but totally like lawful evil, but they justify it. It's like this is I'm doing the right thing in my own mind. It's like, yeah, that's awesome.
It bums me
I mean,
out.
it's
the panel is thinking
when it comes
critical. I don't mind saying it.
When it comes to the Sovereign, though, I think that if we're gonna look at D&D alignment, it's more like it could be lawful evil, but it could also verge on chaotic evil with the way that all that stuff went down in the last issue.
Oh, Tyler's got a fan. How often you see that? Usually it's Tyler sucks. Congratulations, Tyler. What's up, Dan? Good to see you, my man. Oh. Well, I'll have to ask you who that is so I can go look at that. Or send me the video at least so I can see what you're talking about.
You've never seen Pulp Fiction?
No, I was talking about the video that
the character. Oh, yeah, I forget the guy's name.
Of the dude contradicting himself.
With the lasso.
Thinking Critical is the guy who just makes absolutely rage bait videos.
That's a comic book channel?
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I discovered that guy just doing like what you were talking about months ago. And I sat there and I just got completely infuriated with one video and I was like, nope, unsubscribe to this guy.
Yeah. I don't mind someone honestly not liking something, but like he did the Wonder Woman issue where it was the buy month where Superman and Wonder Woman went out to the Cosmic Mall to get Batman a present for his birthday.
Not my favorite, but
dude, I loved it. But
it wasn't barely read it,
series, but it was still a good issue. But Wonder Woman had to park the invisible jet, and the dude was trash talking her. And she was basically like standing around trash talking him back. Like, you don't you dare X, Y, or Z. He opened his video saying, this book is ridiculous. Wonder Woman's threatening to kill somebody. And Bro, she never threatened to kill nobody. He built an entire rant off Wonder Woman wouldn't threaten to kill somebody. I'm like, we don't even need to have that. We don't even need to have that conversation if she would or wouldn't, because in this issue that you're complaining about, she didn't. So it doesn't even become relevant if she would or wouldn't, because we haven't even got to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even having that conversation. You're lying. You're lying to your audience.
Yeah, some of these guys could use like a producer because they like misread things. I think sometimes it's like,
Bro,
oh, your whole argument, you didn't even read it right. So I don't know.
Another person on with him, just they co-sign each other, like back and forth. And,
that was a great statement. Yeah, I hate that.
Not just that, like, yeah, she did, didn't she? Like, no, she didn't. And I'll leave a comment.
She legit did not.
I'll leave a comment like, yo, she literally never threatened anyone. Everything you hate about this book did not happen in this book. I hope to God that people go read this issue and they can figure out that they're being lied to.
You know, like, but you know what it is? You know what it is, Mark?
They don't care. They don't want to read it.
No.
That's what Papa Willie said.
People like them. Are you ready? To them, a woman disagreed with a man and was very vocal and aggressive about it.
No,
so of course she was threatening him.
The dude's not sexist over it. He does the same shit about men content in comic books. Like let Tom King touch anything, and the counterculture on the right hate it, no matter what it is.
Is Tom King a culture war fighter? I didn't know this about him.
No, not really. He just tells the story. He has a background working for the government.
Yeah, he's a fucking FBI agent. No, he's a CIA agent. Like the dude's a patriot. And you're like it blows my mind. Their whole thing is it's everything he does is character assassination. No, what he does is deeper introspection into characters that you're not ready for, and that's okay. They're like, oh, he character assassinated Guy Gardner in Human Target. He's this woman
Guy
chasing.
Gardner's an asshole.
I know, and I point that out, and that's when it dawned on me. Like all Tom King does is take a character, a certain characteristic about him that he wants to explore, and he exemplifies that characteristic.
It's also a Black Label book.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, Human Target was one of my favorite books of 2022.
The Batman issue was the best one, and Batman didn't appear it. Not once.
Yes.
The fear of Batman.
And I heard people like. I was reading it. My boyfriend was reading it along with me, so like he got to read that issue first, and he saw other people's reviews, and he's like, "Yeah, Batman doesn't even show up in this, but this was the weakest issue so far." And it's like, hold on, let me read it, and then I read it, and I was like, "No,
bro,
this is the strongest issue."
Yeah. So like the whole issue, like every issue is kind of dedicated to a single member of the Justice League International, and it was a murder that occurred, and they were all being investigated. And when it gets to the point where Batman is up, he's no longer investigating them. He's afraid that Batman's coming for him. So everything he does through the whole issue is like pretty much running for his life, looking over his shoulders, watching the shadows for somebody who's not even coming for him.
And Batman becomes also symbolic of the darkness that because the basis of the book is basically it's an ultimate ending for that character. And so, Batman not only gets to be scaring the main character because he's Batman, it's also symbolic of the darkness that's ahead of that character.
And it got really dark for him too, because the whole time he only has 12 days to live. His whole shtick is he impersonates somebody whose life is threatened and takes the bullet for him and finds out who's after him, the whole Human Target. And he took a bullet for Lex Luthor and drank poison, and he only had,
and there was no save for it. Yeah,
no save.
Yeah, I read the first 5 issues of that one, and then I dropped it. And I wish I wouldn't have, because that Greg Smallwood art was just
so good.
Popping on that thing. It was so good.
It fits the story too perfectly.
Yeah. Because of the time period and that style, like. Oh my goodness!
I haven't read it, but that art looks amazing. Like that's totally up my alley. I just haven't got a chance to read it yet.
That is, it's not only beautiful art wise, but it's by the end of it and how everything ties together, and not only like the end and how everything ties together in the end, but these moments. Oh my God, where he's interacting, where Christopher Chance is interacting. and you hear like the narration is Christopher, and there's this one issue where he's hanging out with Ice, and they go and they visit Blue Beetle, and he's sitting there, and there's this narration of him just witnessing everything that Ice and Blue Beetle are doing together, like superhero stuff. And he just comes to this beautiful conclusion about who Ice is. And it's just, it lived rent-free in my head, that issue, for probably a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely up my alley. I love like Justice League International and stuff too. So, like, I liked Fire and Ice, that miniseries that just came out. So,
the way that Tom King portrays Ice and even Fire in this is just, and Christopher's reaction to particularly Ice, and the conclusion he makes about her is just, oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Has anybody been reading Love Everlasting? My comic book dad Lorenzo has been a huge fan of that one.
No, I have not actually.
And I saw Albert Loves Comics do a reel about it today, and it made me like, man, maybe I should have read that one. It's an interesting story where this woman falls in love, but every time she falls in love, she goes to a new body and a new life, and then she falls in love again. And each time, and it was an interest. Albert Loves Comics.
That's a good pitch.
If you're interested in checking it out, but a lot of people I respect are digging that one, so I've been thinking about picking that one up. The trade.
I'll have to try looking at it online and then see if I like it. And then, I think I tried looking at it. I just so much stuff to read.
I have that problem too.
One of those good problems.
Like I did the monthly
too much
comic
of a good
review,
thing.
The monthly comic review last week on Robbie's channel, and it's just like, these guys are coming up with stuff that I barely heard of, and I'm like, guys, my wallet is not thanking you right now.
Gore is talking about an issue of JLI that I'm interested in. I'll tell you, in those first 5 issues of, it might have been more than 5, but I kind of got a thing for Ice. The way Greg Smallwood was drawing her,
gorgeous.
I was starting to forget a little thing for her.
And I think that's part of the point too. Like, she's supposed to have this like interesting variation on the femme fatale kind of concept. And that's definitely probably their intention for people to feel that way.
Yeah, FOC definitely did not win tonight. It was quickly thwarted. Flash by Nights. They never even had a chance. There was a couple of weeks where I had a chance. But hasn't had a chance here recently, man.
I heard that Rippaverse talk, and I had to get in.
Yeah, see, well, that's what it's about, huh? Yeah, I'm curious about him. I'm curious about him, so I'm gonna watch a little bit more of him, and maybe I'll watch a little bit more of those people I hate, and maybe I'll make a video about why.
In all sincerity, man, like it's hard to stomach it at first, but when you watch a little, like with anything, like you kind of get through the shtick, and you can kind of hear some of their points and try to, because it's easy to write people off, and I don't agree with probably half of what I hear on there, but you'll find a lot more similarities with people than you will differences, even in that aspect of it. But there's just so much shtick you have to get through, because it's just
Well, I've watched EVS streams a couple times, and I don't know his whole thing. Sorry,
you mentioned him twice. I don't know who that is. Who's
EVS? Ethan Van Sciver.
Like one of the greatest comic artists of our lifetime, bro.
Yeah, like I watched his stream, and he went through I think ISOM 1 or 2 or something like that, and but he was going through it as a artist and stuff, and he's kind of pointing. It's like, okay, I definitely can appreciate your criticism there. I don't care about the personal stuff, but it's an interesting way to look at it. It's like, oh, here's this renowned artist going through it, and this is what I would do. So I appreciate that at least.
Yeah, and that's funny because that backfired, because he went through it and gave it its flowers were due and said it can improve in these areas. And apparently Eric July, despite spending his entire time on YouTube criticizing the industry, didn't want positive constructive criticism back.
Yeah, constructive criticism.
And he got mad about it or something, and they stopped talking and everything. Then it turned out that all the Ripper art is just crop and pasted free download stuff.
Yeah, and I guess 3D modeling, they just I don't know what you would call that, use it as a reference or whatever. Yeah.
copy and pasted
That's
3D
a hustle,
models into the
dog.
book.
Yeah.
It was bad.
There's this
But man,
like,
hey, he's hustling and making money doing that, so I can't, fault him. He's making money.
there's this aspect of the culture in comic books versus like novels and like regular prose. We'll say prose. We'll say regular, prose, where in comic books, authors and creators are all over reviews. And they're commenting on reviews, they're doing stuff involving reviews, they're looking at reviews, they're admitting to looking at reviews. That stuff is horribly frowned upon in the prose side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like authors get blackballed if they get critical of their reviews.
And that makes sense to me.
And it's mostly because we've got instances where sometimes authors, like especially in the prose side of things, have these communities and fan bases built up, around a cult of personality, that when they criticize the reviewers and they call out and they badmouth the reviewers, then the reviewers start getting harassed. And there's also not a lot, thankfully, but a couple instances where authors have stalked reviewers and attacked them physically.
Crazy.
Not just online.
That is wild.
That's crazy. Actually, I just went to the comic book store today and I was talking to the owner. Well, that's Comics on the Grade in Scranton, Pennsylvania, for all of you out there. But I picked up a bunch of back issues of Judge Dredd from IDW, like 2013. Nice. And the writer on that book, I was talking to him like, oh, he's a really good writer. I read some of these. And he's like, oh, yeah, and he just does books now, just like prose. I don't think he can. I don't know if he's doing it anymore or what, but he's like, yeah, he's really good. I hope he goes back into comics because, who knows how many writers, that they move from comics to books. It's like, please come back.
Howard Chaykin is next level, Gore. Howard Chaykin. I'm getting the opportunity to meet him at Heroes Con. I've got my Blackhawk books already ready. I wanted to sign my Blackhawk mini series.
Alan Moore has moved primarily to prose.
Alan Moore moved primarily to a cave in the Shire.
I haven't really run into this.
Oh, wizard.
Pretty much, probably.
He lives in Bag End right now.
Papa mentions people being fake.
I responded to him. Yeah, these people I'm talking about they're not faking being nice. They're not even being nice. Yeah. Their shtick is to not be nice.
Do you think they're faking?
Like what Marcus shared at the beginning of the stream. Like it's just they just revel in and they enjoy the First Amendment to the fullest.
Are these people pulling in Andy Kaufman, or are they're just genuinely not nice people?
A little bit of both. I mean, some of it, like you said, they just get wrapped up in the cult of personality. EVS,
tribalism.
EVS runs a lot of it is his personality, which a lot of his personality is intentional pushback personality. I don't care what anyone says or how they feel about Comicsgate. The left created Comicsgate. EVS was literally fired from DC Comics because of his political views, and that's not an opinion. That's actually what happened, and because of that, he went crazy. Not like lost his mind. Like he chose to still be a professional artist and push back. Like he was one of the first people to push back against culture stuff, and the people that agreed with him that's crazy, that shouldn't have happened, they flocked to him, and he's a caricature of that person online, and he's online so much that I think that's just what he's used to being, kind of thing.
I mean, you have to admit it's gotten a bit to the point where it's kind of gotten bigger than that.
I don't think so.
We got Rob's Fat Stacks in the house, and I was trying to work my way.
That's FOC, baby.
I was trying to work my way to pimping that link there in the chat.
Welcome home, Rob. Your wall looks like shit.
Go get you a Comics Curing Cancer shirt and definitely represent what we're doing out here in these streets. Link is in the chat. I love this shirt. I'm gonna have to get me a couple more, man. I think that green. Rob mentioned it to me, and I agreed, man. That green looks nice. That's a great choice to go with, guys. But all proceeds go to Comics Curing Cancer, so you are not filling Rob's coffers here. You are supporting the cause, and you get a dope shirt out of it, or maybe something else. You know, there's other things in there.
Tank tops, cups, whatever.
Yeah, you're getting dope stuff in return for supporting a great cause, and you can't beat
merchandising. They put the movement's name on everything.
That's right. Rob, do you have any thoughts
T-shirt,
on
Spaceballs, the
Eric's
flamethrower,
or EVS, or any of those things? I imagine you don't. Yeah, I didn't think so.
And he's out.
All right, and that's about the end of the show, guys. Let's go ahead and do the shout outs. Okay, let's start with him because he's showing it. Let's go ahead and do the shout outs. Welcome back, Rob. Legion of Comics, what is going on with you, my man? What you got for us?
I got a bunch of cool Batman toy shorts this week. As always, the weekly vlog posts on Wednesdays and a bunch of streams through the week.
As per usual.
The Legion Loot giveaway is Sunday too.
Check my man out every Tuesday for the. How long is that going to go for, actually? Because aren't they switching?
Till I die, I guess.
No, so you're still going to do it on Tuesday even when they switch to Wednesday?
Oh man, who knows?
You haven't even got that far ahead. Well, until the foreseeable future, Tuesdays with Legion, and of course Sunday night at Week's End, where they spoil a bunch of stuff that I haven't watched yet, probably. But always a good time.
It's in the title.
Rob, you get to promote yourself because you are here. What's going on with you, my man?
Oh, we wrapping up? I missed FOC?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. You missed it, brother. So obviously the link is in the chat for the store.
What's FOC?
Everything.
Retro ass wall, dude. That's like from 3 years ago, Rob.
Why are we hating on this wall?
So was it when I switched it to your background, dude? When it was like there was like nothing. There's like, look, there's no.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What's funny is I'm still in that picture. Hey, Chip, missed you, bud.
Chip.
Hey, there he is. But I did pimp out the Fat Stacks merch link. All of it supports Comics Curing Cancer. And of course, Rob's Fat Stacks, home of Only Slabs, aka I can't even remember.
There's no Only Slabs this Saturday. It's a rare off because I'm in Utah today. My son is graduating from university this weekend.
Yay.
So Saturday, when I would normally be doing Only Slabs, I'm flying home. So that way I can get to Shortbox Live this weekend. So no Only Slabs this Saturday, but 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, we are doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. We're going to be giving away a bunch of slabs and such. And so that'll be fun. Otherwise, tomorrow there'll be, or tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday, I got a video dropping. There'll be a bunch of art commissions that were sent off to CGC, or CBCS rather, for encapsulation and signature verification. Get the art label scenario. So those will be Thursday's video.
That'll be interesting. That's my wheelhouse there. Definitely check that out. One of the best giveaway guru dudes in this comic book YouTube space. Do not miss out on Rob's Fat Stacks and Comics. Thanks for jumping on, Rob. I appreciate you. Sledhead, what's going on with you, man? Anything for you to promote?
Nope.
All right.
I'll just be in the random comic book YouTube lives, out like you, Marcus. I filter through lives and just check out stuff.
Yeah, I just want to hang out with a bunch of nerds, man. That's all I want to do.
I know. That's where it's at. It's the good times.
Well, Sledhead does have a channel. It's about beards.
I do.
Shaving.
Yeah, I haven't posted anything in a long time.
Link is in the
you
chat.
You can see me shaving off a huge beard.
Yeah.
You go deep into the beard oils and the beard balms and different combs and everything?
Some, yeah, more shaving. It's weird. I'm
shaving.
A very geeky kind of guy. I'm very nerdy, so I get into random deep rabbit holes.
All right, definitely check my man out, and thank you for jumping on, Sledhead, man. Always good to see
Peace.
you. Let's see, Carrie, what's going on with you?
So, in case you guys missed him, we recently did an episode of What's Happening with Bizarro Fett. So, basically, what we did was we talked about blue milk, and we tried it by True Moo. So, if you haven't yet and you're a Star Wars fan, try it. It's delicious. At
Is
least I
it?
think so.
Was it?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's basically like milk but vanilla
Check
and
out
blue.
Carrie both on YouTube and on Instagram. And you can also find her on Pop Culture Philosophers doing some reviews. Always a good time over there. Thank you,
last
Carrie,
week.
for jumping on. I very much appreciate you. Papa Willie, what's going on with you? We know you've got your Thursday show with the homies talking about wrestling, all things wrestling, both old and new. I know the homie Biggie often jumps on there with you. My homie Beckerman often jumps on with you. So always a good time over there with Papa Willie on Thursdays, and lip sync videos Saturday. Oh, nice. New ones. So check my man out for that one. Papa Willie is in the chat right there. Papa Willie _AZ. And I forgot Cliff last week, so I'm going through here, make sure I did not forget anybody. I do not believe that I did. So that's all we got for this week. Thank you to everybody that came through. Gore, the great legend, all the homies, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And of course, to all the fine fellas and gal that jumped on with the chat tonight. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out. That's all I got for y'all this time. Until next time, peace.